Welcome to the Ready to Love Season 7 exclusive interviews. This is Couples Couch with
Pat.
And I'm Cam. Let's get into it. So, unfortunately, during episode 6, Jonique was eliminated on Ready to Love, but Jonique is here and she's ready to discuss her experience on the show. So, let's welcome Jonique. Welcome, Jonique. Hi, Jonique. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing so good. So we're so happy you could join us. So let's dive into your experience on Ready to Love.
All right.
During your experience on Ready to Love, who was your top connection?
So the connections kind of shift throughout the time during our experience because you're getting to know people every single day, and then you're getting to kind of expound on previous connections, learn new things. So some things you may really like, some things you may not like. So it's ever changing. It's an ever changing experience. So I kind of started off because I was brought in as a wild card. So I was kind of brought in when everyone had already kind of met each other. They didn't, know each other super well. They'd only met at the mixer, but they already had kind of started, forming connections and bonds with people. So initially, I'll say I really didn't have a connection with anyone. I was just trying to fill it out. It's an overwhelming experience to be met with multiple people that you're expected to date all at the same time. So you're just trying to find your footing, honestly. You're trying to fill out the women, see who they are, and all while still dating the men. So it's a lot of tasks to kind of juggle going into the experience. And for me, initially, I didn't have any connections, but I feel like I vibed really well with Lyndon. I didn't know if it was romantic or just friend vibes. I wasn't sure, but we had just good conversation. It flowed really well. It was very natural, but I didn't quite, I wasn't quite able to put my finger on exactly what that was initially. And then there was Tony, and Tony, he came off as, very much a gentleman, chivalrous, but myself and a lot of the ladies in our lounge, we weren't able to figure out if Tony was sincere, if he's just like lover boy Tony, if he's just kind of doing this with everyone. And I think that kind of gets talked about between him and Morgan in one of the scenes. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, where he's like, do you really think I'm telling every woman the same thing? And she's just like, I don't know, because we had previously had a conversation in the ladies' lounge where several of the ladies kind of said the same thing. Tony said this, Tony said that. So, we were trying to just fill out the men, see who's there for the right reasons, who's authentic, and who's being just robotic and telling everybody the same thing to kind of stay in for the long haul. We don't know. So, it's just a time to try to fill everybody out. It's hard. It's a very short time period. It's condensed. Like, even though the show I think runs for maybe like 12 weeks, filming is a lot shorter than that. It's condensed down. It's speed dating on steroids. So you're having to go on dates every single day. We film like 6 days a week.
Wow.
And we film for 12 to 15 hours a day sometimes. And so that should give you an indication of how much you actually get to see on the chopping block once the final cut is produced. That 1 hour episode is a fraction of the interactions that we have with each other, a fraction of the time that we spend together. A lot of people will make comments and say, oh, you guys didn't really connect. You only talked for 2 seconds. Actually, this is a person we've been talking to for hours every day for weeks, but it's a television show. Like,
right. You're only going to see so much of that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so after your date with Blake said he felt like you and him had too large of a gap in experiences for him and he didn't connect with you. Do you think he put in the effort to get to know you during the date?
Blake and I never had a connection. I did not choose to go on that date.
Oh.
That we never, he was in my bottom every week. So let's be clear. He was in my bottom every week. I had zero intention of getting to know Blake.
Mm.
I never desired to go on a date with Blake. I was not physically attracted to Blake,
Wow.
nor did I ever want to get to know Blake.
So it seems
What
like Blake came off just the way he came off on TV in person.
Yes, that's why you'll hear a lot of negative things said about Blake throughout the season by many of the ladies. You know, that
Mm.
demeanor, that disposition, that is what he got in person as well. But what you have to understand, like I said, it's a TV show. We have to date everyone. So we have to interact with everyone to cancel people out. So we have to date everyone. So even
Mm.
though people aren't necessarily a connection of ours, we still have to go on dates with them. We still
I-
have to mingle and mix with them. We still have to interact with them. Blake was always my bottom out of everyone on the entire show, but I still had to entertain a date
with
him
him.
because it's just what it is, and it's
Right.
just
Hmm.
how it goes. And you'll see other people go on dates with people who they don't have a connection with. It's just a part of the process. You
Right.
can't
Mm.
just date, two people that you like. You have to go on dates with everyone.
Whatever.
So there was never a spark. There was never a connection. I think I spoke 2 words to Blake before that date, and I told, everyone, including the ladies' lounge, that he's in my bottom and I don't have any connection to him. I'm not physically attracted to him. There's nothing
Wow.
there. There's nothing between us. We have absolutely nothing in common. I tried my best to have tact during that
Yeah.
date, and I tried my best to, present myself in a way that was cordial.
Right.
But I'm never going to be rude or nasty to someone if I'm, in a sit down setting with them. But I mean, it was when I found out he was my date, I was disappointed.
Yeah. Being that the experience has you go on dates with what we're finding out, some dates you might not want to go on and others that you do want to go on. What do you think going through all of that has changed, or what have you found out about yourself from the experience?
From the experience as a whole, I think I just kind of learned to be more open um, to various types of people. Um, I've always, dated, just what I liked, but I never kind of stepped outside of the box to kind of go for other types. And it kind of taught me to be a little bit more open
Mm.
with my dating habits, because just off of initial first impressions, I wasn't physically attracted to anyone. Um, just off initial first impressions.
Right.
Um, Not to say that they're not attractive men. I'm not saying that.
Mm.
It's just we all have preference. We all have
Of
a
course.
right to have a preference. Everyone likes what they like, and everyone is attracted to what they're attracted to. And off of just first impressions, I wouldn't say any of the men were when we're talking about phenotype and physical appearance, they weren't what I would be attracted to, and everyone was older than me as well. And I've always dated men who are older than me, but not men who are 44.
Right.
Claiming they
Maybe.
32.
So I mean, I would date maybe someone 2, 3, maybe 4 years older than me, but not 10 and 15 years older than me, because there is a gap in life experiences. I'm a very mature person for my age. I've had a lot of great life experiences, but someone 44 with grown children, we don't relate. I don't have children.
Right.
I'm not in that. We're not even in the same
Realm.
um, at all. At all.
Hmm.
The likes, the interests, the preferences are just different. And of course, the way that the date with Blake was kind of captured, it kind of showed, me saying, "Oh, I like to turn up with friends and family." Well, that was a dub. That date lasted about an hour and a half. They showed
Mm.
2 minutes of it. There was a lot more talked about and expressed and explained. That was actually the last thing that I said. Really, I like to do a lot of things. I'm a very adventurous person. I love to travel. I love to, I have multiple seven-figure businesses that
Wow.
that I manage and own, the sole owner of. And in my
Mm.
free time, there's a lot of things I like to do. Miami was actually a second home for me. I also own a home in Maryland. Right now, I'm in Atlanta.
Mm.
on a home here. So there was a lot discussed during that conversation, and I ended it by saying, but really, I just love to spend time with my friends and family at home, having a good time, game nights, spades, just
Hmm.
enjoying time with family because I'm a very family oriented person.
And that's the
So
part we saw on the show, just that
ex-
clip right there.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. So that was, cut down by production. Like I said, that date lasted about an hour and a half, and you saw maybe 2 minutes of it. Um, so, it's like I said, it's a show. They're going to chop it down, they're going to edit it down, and they're going to, put what they want to put in it.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's impossible to capture the full essence of every date, but they're gonna put their own spin on it.
yeah.
Um,
So tell me about, how did you feel when Andre came back on the show? Tell me about your thoughts about Andre coming back.
Um, Initially, I didn't really have a thought about it.
Okay.
When it was announced that he was coming back, I wasn't surprised. But initially, I felt indifferent. I didn't
Okay.
feel, any type of way about it. It's okay, he's back, But then I kind of felt like it wasn't really fair that he was brought back
Thank you.
because I feel like it kind of created it wasn't balanced anymore. It wasn't
Mm.
balanced because you added another male back into the equation who's missed 2 weeks of the process. And I think at that time one guy had went home and a girl had went home, and so then you add in another guy. So it becomes like it's not balanced anymore. The scales aren't balanced because at that point you have an extra male that you know wasn't supposed to be there because the week that Demario went home, we didn't get to decide if we wanted Andre to go home. Maybe he would have went home that week, So
Good point.
yeah. So I mean, at first I didn't really care. I was indifferent, but then as I thought about it, I just didn't really kind of thought it was kind of unfair to bring him back. And I kind of thought it was unfair to let him participate in the men's lounge that week because he had not been there to go on dates with anyone. So
So you felt the same thing.
you don't have a dog in the fight because you don't even know what's been going on.
Right.
Right. That's what it was unfair. I thought as a fan watching, I'm like, okay, this isn't even fair because one, he's been gone for 2 weeks. Okay, he hasn't had a chance to go on dates, but he hasn't had a chance to get dirty either. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm sure
Yeah.
rumors and he say, she say, like he hasn't been a part of any of that. So no
Right.
one,
Mm-mm.
he hasn't gotten that. And then they brought him back and let him go and tell people about themselves first. Like, bro, you wasn't even
Exactly.
on the show no more. Why would I call to keep up with your tabs? Like you're not on the show no more.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think it was fair after I really thought about it. I was like,
Hmm.
he probably shouldn't have been allowed to come back just because of fairness to everyone else involved.
Yeah, because it
But
is
hey,
competitive.
right, right. But it is what it is. It wasn't
It
my
is.
decision.
Right? It is what it is. All
By the
right.
time they asked y'all if y'all was cool with it, they had already made the decision.
Right, right,
They already
right.
made the decision. Like I said, it's TV. It's for entertainment purposes. They weren't
Hmm.
truly asking us if we had an issue or if we wanted him back. The decision had been made by production. So it is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have a say
Are
in
you
it.
dating now or in a relationship? Or are you just scanning your DMs for
I am dating someone.
Oh,
congratulations?
good for
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Good,
you.
good for you. Well, at
She
least.
says she owned a home in Atlanta, Florida, and Maryland. Of course, she did. Somebody go scoop her up.
Oh my God. Well, I'm so happy that you have found love in your journey. It was outside
Thank
of Ready to
you.
Love, right? But we're happy that you found love, nevertheless.
I did, and I'm very, very happy with it.
So, Jonique, I thank you so much for stopping by. And
Thank
also
you.
to everyone out there, thank you for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button to support our channel. Also, drop your comments in the comment section below. Jonique and Couples Couch would love to hear from you. Again, I thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye,
Thank you. Bye.
everyone.
Bye.